Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Mic check. We're in the building. Four-wheeling.
That would help. And that would help. Give me some more.
Check.
Give me some more.
We in here.
How we sounding? I don't know if I hear myself.
I hear myself.
Ooh, pretty and red. What's up?
Hey. Good evening.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
What it do?
Welcome back to Let's Get It Together on Hot 702.5 FM. Can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you good.
I
in my
can hear you in my
earphones.
earphones.
Okay, all right.
It's fucking phone, boy. I swear.
Oh, okay. So, we're in the house with J9.
And Jazzy.
And we have our special guest.
Undrafted Allstarz podcast show. I am your host. I am Big Sugar, a.k.a. Sugar Doses the Great.
And I am
a.k.a. Mr. Tell Your Friends About Me with my co-host.
And I am Tell Your Friends About Us, a.k.a. Q Mecca 2 Texa. You know, tragic gonna hold you down.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Nice.
We need a jingle.
I know, right? A little catch.
Little catch-all. So we are back at it again with the gentlemen, the Kings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies.
Allstars, undefeated.
How's everybody doing? How was everybody's Valentine's?
It was great.
Nice. Mine was nice.
All right.
It was a great day.
Okay. It was just a day.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, right?
Did
just
you-
a day to nice and relax.
Did you get pussy as a gift?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Pussy ain't a gift.
It's
Unless
definitely
it's
not a gift.
her friend and her, then it's a gift.
Then it's a gift.
I cannot stand these guys. Y'all don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But we're going to put this in context real quick,
Let's.
right? We're going to put this in context. But, you know, this is episode number 5. We have managed to cover a lot of things about dating and, you know, putting our heads together on what we think is a problem. I mean, we've covered a lot of subjects,
Yes.
right? Today we're going to cover the power of the P. And
You.
It's not the pork
That's
chop.
why.
It's not the pork
shit,
chop.
nah.
Now we finna talk about y'all dudes out there and y'all women out there that
That's right.
y'all might be conditioned by the dudes that we finna talk about.
Real shit. So I need to
good.
put a disclosure real quick. This is not for the faint. We are not specifically talking about, you know, we might be talking about a group of people or specific people that do certain things, but we're grown in here today. I won't unadulterated, unfiltered. I want the real flat ass truth.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to be politically correct, so to speak, unless it's, you know, to a demographic. So, you know what I'm talking about?
Right on.
we gonna keep it sexy and saucy and adult in here, but we need to talk about the power of the pussy. So you might want to shut the volume down a little bit. Make sure the kids are in the other room. And for the ladies, we're gonna talk a little bit about the power of the penis. Notice the distinction between the language, you know, the pussy and the penis. They got it correct in how we say that. You know what I mean? If we're using the P word.
Okay.
But I'm going to start off real quick, and then because we are the ones with the pussy, we're going to kind of lead this thing
Yes.
a little bit.
Y'all think y'all do, but go ahead.
What?
Y'all think y'all do, but go ahead.
No, it's not.
Oh, wow. That's
No.
a knowing.
No.
That is a knowing that we own
I didn't say
this.
we had the power. I said we had the P.
Pussy.
So we're the ones who. So we're going. So I'm gonna start it off just a little bit
I
by
can agree with
quickly
that.
saying, for me, there is no power in pussy alone. That's a mindset. It's a concept. But I do get that it is one of the oldest money makers in the world, right? Since the beginning of time. So it has always been exploited. It's always been used in manipulative ways. Going back centuries.
So they were busting it on back then, huh?
They was busting it open.
Hey.
That was the harlot. You know what I'm saying? That was the street woman. And then the married woman, she should have been busting it open. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Right?
Shout out to both of y'all. We need both. We need both in this world.
Skadoosh.
So I'm just going to put that out there, and then, we'll go back and forth a little bit on how we feel. We'll interject. We'll be a healthy dialogue. Everybody get plenty of time and plenty of space to say what they want to say, uninterrupted from me.
Absolutely.
I will not assume I know what you're going to say, okay? I just know we need to come together on one of the more serious things, and that is how we put sex into our friendships, relationships, dating ships, situationships. That sex thing, we've avoided it enough. It's on the flow. Jazzy, take it.
Oh, here you go. Just hand it over.
Well, you can hand it over to the guys. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm curious I'm very interested in this topic because there's several caveats to power of sex, period, between the man and the woman. Because I know guys have a perspective that they can get pussy anywhere. And we, as women, feel like, most of y'all come with y'all dick in your hand anyway. So I'm ready to have this conversation.
So start it off.
So what are the caveats? What are the things that you noticed?
About sex and the power of the pussy. I feel like I don't want to.
Who needs to bring their mic forward? Okay.
Here you go. Okay.
Yep.
My apologies. When men say, pussy holds no power, even when you say that, I agree with that statement. I think it changes, though, when there is a relationship established. When children are brought into the picture, could be necessarily, because I think at some point there is some power in it once there's some feelings behind it for men. Like if you have kids involved or a relationship involved. And it does change the perspective of pussy, right? I would think so.
It doesn't.
Well, I
don't know
think to piggyback on it before I think I would piggyback on that to say that although there's no I don't believe there's power in it at all. I think I posted the video of Erykah Badu that was saying it's not between my legs. It don't happen in the bedroom. It happens in between my mind.
Right, I agree with that.
So the power comes in the person. So I agree with you in that the dynamic changes when there's intimacy and caring involved.
Right.
But then there's also this aspect of control.
Right.
Possession. That comes with the possession.
Obsession.
Yeah. So that then changes, especially if it's baby mama and it's access.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, when it's baby mama or a long-term relationship, I do feel that brings an element that men tend to be, their egos really kick in that area. And so does control.
Right.
So I feel you.
So.
But in the meantime, is there, is it Kanoy McMillan? She's joined the party and she says, check out the story of Samson. And in case any of you don't know, I'm not going to go biblical on you, but, Samson was a king and he was acting up.
Okay.
He was acting up as it pertains to sex. But anyway.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Because we're going to really get real deep and into this.
Well, no, I would like to pass it off to the fellas.
Okay.
That was fast. If y'all had the power.
Well,
I want to know your perspective.
I
if that changes, I mean, I don't think it does. Even in a relationship, or if you have a baby mama or something, there's not a thought process of a level of possession, potentially.
Oh, so do you saying that you think men think if it's his wife or his baby mama that he possesses the pussy?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that happens with men. I think that's true.
If that's honest.
I was watching a show called Sons of Anarchy. To shout out to y'all who watched that. And Peggy Bundy plays the mom.
Right.
And she got raped by another gang, the white Aryans. And then she was sad because she was married. She was married, and she told her son's wife that men need to feel like they own their pussy, so he doesn't look at me the same once he know all these Aryan, like 4 or 5 of them game raped me. So I do think men do think that they possess pussy for the most part. I think that's a man ego thing. For some men, I guess it depends on the man. Now, some men, I think that pussy holds power, just like anything else would, at the rate of how available, the supply and demand of it. So for a man who don't get a lot of pussy, he might do a lot of things for some pussy. He might stab his homeboy in the back.
Absolutely.
He might player hate. He might talk bad about another dude that he know you talking to. He'll do a lot of things that we call sucker shit.
To get pussy.
To get some pussy. And that is what we be talking about when we be like the power of it. If you have something in abundance, you don't need to do that. But when you don't, when you're desperate, you do desperate things. So I'm not mad at that. I understand it. I just think that men need to understand. I think women do think. I've had women tell me, listen, Quinn, any dude I had sex with, I can have sex with still to this day if I wanted to. So for you to say you don't think it got no power, I think women think that it has, or they know that men will do things for it. That's why it makes more money. That's why it makes more money than male gigolos. Male prostitutes make less money than women prostitutes because pussy, men have to act and court and do all the things for pussy. Women get offered dick just for a nigga holding the door. Whatever you could go out here.
Whenever she ready to bust it open, she can.
Right.
Whenever she ready.
So she gets to choose.
Right.
I guess I read a post that said, why do men be so hurt when a woman cheats if he's cheating? And the man broke this down. He said, well, this is what it is. He's like, when a woman, he's like, unless he rapes a woman, when she cheats, she opens her legs to him. So she wanted that, and that hurts the man.
But she opened her heart or her mind first,
and then her
and
legs.
that's what hurts the man.
That's what hurts.
I don't even think it's a pussy.
I think men think that. Well, my girl ain't just gonna give any nigga some pussy. She liked this nigga.
He had to work on her for a while.
She liked this nigga. That's why she gave him some. So that's what hurts the man, which is the ego. That's ego.
And she's busting it open when she.
It's ego. So men do feel like some type of ownership of their pussy.
Right.
And OG told me a long time ago, shout out to him, he's like, listen, man, you think your girl different? He's like, no girl different. He was dating my cousin at the time. He's like, it's her pussy. It ain't yours. Yeah. You're the one she's giving it to now. If she wants to change and give it to somebody else, she could do that, and then you can do about it.
Yeah, since you can do about it, but get mad.
He's saying, so I wouldn't even get mad at it if he's like, just understand it. I always think that if you change the way you feel about something, you'll change the way, or to change the way you think about something, look at something and change the way you feel about it. So when understanding comes, a different feeling. You ain't mad no more, you ain't angry, you go, oh, that's what it is, and then you just accept it. So I think that's what we mean when we say power of the pussy. A lot of dudes do a lot of things, and I think women know. I have women who tell me, I just act like I'm gonna give him some pussy, and he gonna pay my bill.
Let me tell you something.
I have him running on the string.
That's the biggest game there is, and I can basically tell women how to be a madam. And that to me is seduction, right?
Yes.
You could do all of the things that you could do, that whole persona, and never have to give up the coochie. It's game. That's game. I'm giving you game.
It's some women who know that, who do that very well, and it's a lot of men who fall for that.
Oh, yeah.
On a regular basis.
And women know who they are.
And women know how to pick those men out, just like pimps know how to pick out a girl he could put.
Oh, yeah.
Every woman can't be a prostitute. Right. But a pimp knows the one that can. He can see the insecurity in her. He can see what she's looking for. So a woman can see that with a man. Oh, I know I got a brother that women know he gonna. I say, bro, why you always get the women that's choosing to make you be their trick? I said, you need to look at yourself and figure out
what
why.
That is.
Because that's true. And I think it's a lot of things, like it's a variety of things, but I think that's one of the biggest things where we say the power of the PU. It's like men will do things. They will stab their homeboy in the back.
Yes,
they'll sell out somebody. They'll give their whole paycheck up, rent check. They'll fuck up the household of the family that he got at home.
They know what they pay for.
Right.
I've worked with a guy, and we went to the strip club. We just got paid. Boom. We went to the strip club. I ain't throw no money because I'm kind of cheap. You gotta come talk to me. I like to deal with you. We gotta have a rapport if I can get a dance from you. But he was out there giving it up. He went back after we got off.
Make it rain.
He lost all his money. He went home with her, but he lost all his money. Then the next day he called me. He was like, yo, if my wife asks you.
Oh, wow.
He said, yo. If my wife call you, tell her I'll let you borrow my whole check. He said, tell her I'll let you borrow my whole check because you needed it.
You getting your money back yet?
I was thinking like, I knew his wife. I was thinking like, if she fall for that,
right,
nigga, then you good.
So let me
ain't
ask
no
you,
way.
Let me ask you this, man.
To the extent,
because the problem that I have when men put the obsession and all the intent and all the motives into the pussy, and I'm gonna say, you know, I had a stand up. Anybody who saw my stand up, I have a section that I talk about. Can we just change our language? Because quite frankly, I find pussy to be a little offensive in terms of the word. Because depending on how you use it, I just remember my daddy saying, you know, shit like, yeah, we ain't fucking with this pussy ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Words that seem degrading to the coochie instead of it being uplifting. I think pussy might be a bedroom word, you know, when you might want to talk some shit and talk nasty or something. But I just don't think it's an everyday word because it then devalues it. I think it's a vagina. You can call it Gina, whatever you want to call it. We're never going to get rid of the word. Don't get me wrong. It's like nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's going to always be here. But I think in terms of value, in terms of life, that's what the vagina is. There's pleasure there.
But it's a portal.
So what happens is, and I'm going to give it back to you. And I'm going to give it to you because you're always so quiet. You got. I need to hear your perspective. When I find men run like this with the pussy and that seems to be their goal and their ultimate and that's all they talk about and yeah, it's plentiful and they can get all this. What turns me off is the fact that it lowers his value. Because at that point you're in a chase position which puts the pussy in the leader position. Never win. And it's not, that's just not.
You'll never win.
It's not going to work for me.
Right.
Because I feel like it takes away from the man as a value. When I look at a man as a leader, that I want him to lead my household, I want him to lead my life, I'm not trying to have him lead with his dick. Right?
That's a fact.
Right.
Chasing pussy.
A man that chases pussy will do anything for you.
And I'm not trying to have a 50-year-old, 40-year-old conversation with grown-ass man about the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Men, that's a turnoff for women, for grown-ass women. We're not trying to hear that.
Women have the conversation, too.
So, here we go.
Women have that same conversation, too.
Or do you think?
Sex. Because it's like, with me, personally, like, I've been told, women told me before, like, you don't ever talk about sex. I'm like, for what? I want to know what the fuck you talking about. Because just to see if I want to have sex with you, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
so he got a different perspective. Go ahead and tell
I got a
him.
different perspective.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back, because, you know, like, at one point, I guess men do put it on a pedestal till they understand it.
Till they realize?
You do put it up there till you realize, like, it ain't worth what it is.
I'm glad you said that.
Because it's the maturity of it as you go through life. But some men will stay in that part because that's their biggest boast. Being that person.
Yeah. Which means they ain't used to getting it like that.
Exactly.
Or maybe they are, but they're
and
lost in the sauce.
They still comfortable there.
Yeah.
Because that's what their hype.
So maybe they still getting it, but that's the turnoff for a woman to hear a grown ass man talking about he can still, and I can get it and it's plentiful. I mean, I get the statement, but I don't get the chase when a man's trying to talk to me. I'm not trying to hear that.
Right. I'm not either.
I don't want that. It's not on the glass for me.
Understood. And
I'm glad you said the maturity part.
It is a maturity part. And a lot of men haven't matured in that area because, like you just said, like some people can't get it as much as others, and some that can, they understand it.
And then some that get it, they just don't understand yet. They still getting it easily, but they don't understand
why they're getting it so easy. Right.
And who they
and that's a growth thing.
And who they're getting it so easy from.
Women.
That's a type.
Right.
That's
women.
a type. That's a type for a man that's still running through females.
Okay, that's a type.
I feel like he's going after a specific type because grown-ass women really are not entertaining it unless we need a fix. We need.
I hear you.
I mean, we do go on a prowl every now and again. We do go. I mean,
we know you do.
We prowl every now and again.
We already know what's up.
We already know you do.
I do.
High five to you. I'll give you a high five now.
Because we do go on a prowl every now and again, and it happens. But I've encountered men. And I'm at my age, I don't want you to lead with your dick. I want you to lead with conversation, get to know me, and all of the above. But I've encountered grown men that got their shit together, got a little cash, whatever, and will tell me, they get all the pussy ain't a problem for them. Mm-hmm. But that's still a large part of their conversation with me.
That means they don't understand yet. Even though they getting it, They don't understand that. Like, I think men lead with what I think works for them. So most of the time it's money.
Right.
Because they know women. See, we condition each other. Men and women condition each other on what we like. Men realize, oh, women like, if I got a little money and I look a little clean and fly, I can get a woman.
Nice car, I got a nice
and then women, but the problem is when we condition each other like that, and then when that's all we do, then it's the women who say, well, why do men always lead with money first? Like, and then men will be like, because that's what y'all like first. Right. If it didn't work for him, he wouldn't do it. So we got to have a better balance and understanding of a balance of a well-rounded individual.
That's right.
So when you're trying to talk to somebody, it's not just, oh, I got a good job, or me, or I got a dick, or my pussy good, or whatever the things is. It's like, let's get to know each other and see where we at on the mental level and the maturity level. And that's only done through conversation and understanding.
Right.
If it's talking about sex too fast, that means, to me, you just be like, if you're going to talk about sex fast, and I'm like, look, well, let's have sex, because that's what you seem to want.
Let's cut to the fucking chase.
Right. Or let's get to know each other.
Right.
Me personally, I like to get to know you.
Right.
I'm not to just have sex with anybody all the time, anytime. That's not who I am. I need a rapport, just like I need a rapport with the stripper. You can't just get a lap dance from me. The strippers that come up and be like, you want a lap dance? No. Sit down and talk to me. I want to know things. I'm like a psychologist.
You doing this for school? Or
Exactly.
You doing this for
Exactly. You doing it for both. You got kids. How was your relationship with
That's all that you got left.
So I think as human beings, we got to realize that our part in conditioning one another with what they lead with. Because women will lead with their beauty or their booty.
They will lead with their bodies.
That's what we're
going to get to. We lead with what we think is going to attract the man.
The other person, the opposite
it's
sex.
The same
So it's the same
concept.
thing.
We lead
so
you are tracking what you don't want to track also too.
Both parties. That's
when you're doing that. So you're going to fight both sides of it. So at the same.
Right.
So understand that.
Yes.
Like I just said, we got to understand what we're conditioning each other with. How we're behaving is conditioning the other opposite sex to lead with what they lead with.
Right.
We can't get mad at, men always coming at me with money. If you always coming at them with what can you do for me?
Probably prefer that.
Then they gonna come then that's how they coming at, because we look at it as exchange. As long as human beings has been here, there's been an exchange. That's why I don't like the extremity of the Me Too. Men have always found women attractive and wanted to have sex with them. Women have found what they want, which could be a comfortable lifestyle. I forgot what it's called. Stability. They like that, right? So they use their body and their good looks to get a man that has what they think they could get, and then vice versa.
Does anybody want to join this conversation? 702-551-5261. Taylor's joined the building. Love Davis joined the building. Beth Johnson's joined the building. Nicole Michelle's joined the building.
We on live IG over here.
Nicole says definitely it's a man's ego, and then Kanoy came back and said it's all in the energy when the word is expressed in terms of the pussy.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then she said unless a man is going pussy austerity, look at her. There is very little power. And then Beth said it's called slanguish. You have to know when to use it. It's a real thing. So anyway, it is 702-551-5261 if you want to join the conversation. So going to this drawing each other and wanting getting to know each other, that all sounds good, right?
Yeah.
But there is something about specifically situationships. Jesse brought up the fact that normally situationships are about sex.
Or involving
sex. Involvement.
Yes.
And so where does that go? Where does that play in when it comes to, how you feel about, and just, I don't know, just this power, this pussy word just don't sit right with me. It just don't. But anyway, where does that play in, especially when people are trying to work on this situationship that we endorse?
Where does
the sex come in, and that ego, that power play, that possession, it's mine, does that, it shouldn't play a part, but I'm saying people are struggling with these relationships when sex is on the table because people get stigmatized.
Yes, they do.
They confuse.
I wonder where you were going with that. That's why I was stuck.
Yeah.
Well, they confuse the sex part with love because they're actually being involved possibly with this one person.
Well, there's lust and there's love. So you got to figure out which one it is. And if you're not, if you're not mature enough to understand.
We're talking about pussy whip and dickmatized.
If you're not mature enough to understand which one it is, then that's where your problem lays right there.
I think he's right. Your problem lies with if we only go into this thing and it's about sex, then that's what it's going to be about.
Right.
You got to go into it, to me, with building a foundation of friendship. If the friendship, you got to cultivate that throughout the whole time you're in a relationship with somebody. So if you, all right, we in a situation, we having sex is great, but we don't know where we going, and then maybe you said you didn't really want nothing serious, you just wanted to have fun with me, but now I'm feeling feelings, and we didn't have sex so much, because a lot of women be like, you can't just fuck the shit out of me and then say we friends.
Right.
They say that. And we be like, why not? Shit, them the best friends.
Right.
A friend that
shit. But that is a problem.
That
and that's
is
why
a
I'm
problem.
asking, because men come off with this, and females too, but I'm specifically talking about men because we talking about pussy. Men come off with this, I'm going to knock it out, I'm going to put all my back into it. And then here's my issue with black men. And this is real shit. This is my issue with black men. Black men want it all now. And you know there was a time women wasn't doing this, right? They was giving love in increments because they were wholesome women, so supposedly, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The concept. It's the concept. But what I'm saying is, now they want first date, they want asshole, they want mouth, they want throat, they want ears, they want toes, they want, you know what I'm saying?
Do you want that?
Hell no.
Now on the first date, eventually, do you want that?
Hell no.
Do you want that?
No, but I think.
Do you want that?
The introduction of porn changed.
That's a fact. I was going to say what she said.
The introduction of porn changed.
Porn changed how we view sex.
How we view sex.
Porn is shot. I would need y'all to know. Porn is shot from the male's how a male's gonna be aroused by it. Because the women look at porn and be like, that shit don't look like what I want. It's male arousement, and that shit.
Men, stop watching porn.
For sure. Stop watching
it
so much. Stop watching it so much. That's a fact.
Stop doing that shit.
Because men gonna go to gangbang a woman, sister, siblings, hot mom. They go to everything. So you're right. Porn has played a dynamic in people wanting all that. What J9 just said. People been wanting all that from the first date. But listen, the thing about it is, in our private conversation a couple weeks ago, y'all, all right, so you say men want this from the first date, but y'all didn't understand that men think differently than women. So y'all was like, y'all want a man to talk about marriage on the first date, and he's not going to talk about that because that ain't how men think. We think, let's get to know her. And if we want some pussy, don't get it twisted. Men always going to want pussy. It's about, is that all he want? Do he just only want pussy, or do you want to get to know you and pussy? Because it's both.
Because then if I see something in you, maybe we can do something.
Exactly.
Can I raise my hand?
Go ahead,
but
go ahead,
that
go
was
ahead.
not when I mentioned women want to talk about
You
marriage.
told on yourself.
No, that's not what I was saying.
What was you
I
saying?
was saying
It got off.
You said the end
when
goal.
I meant,
Then go.
what is your intent when you're dating somebody? That's
the
a
same thing.
reasonable
But
question.
that ain't how men think.
If you
The
just
thing is, we
wanna-
don't know yet because we trying to get to know you.
We're
But
trying to get to
it
know
may be
you.
me specifically, but if you already have in your mind that I'm out and I have the intention on dating because I'm looking for a woman that I want to marry, you might date several women, right? Until you find the one that you want to
So
be
I
with.
would answer that with our intent is to get to know you to see if we want to go further with you.
See,
Right.
get to know
so
you
that
first.
that's my
That's all.
question.
That would be my
I'm not
answer to
talking
that.
about
But there are
marriage.
women who do want,
Hell
who put
yeah.
so much pressure on
On
marriage.
marriage.
Yeah, I agree
Hey,
with that.
all
Those women that we're speaking about, I do know them.
I
they,
agree.
They put so much pressure on a man.
But that
all the
wasn't
men
what
that
I
they
was
meet,
saying.
but that was not what we were talking about.
This is what I did an experiment. I asked all the married homeboys I had that was married, divorced, and remarried. I said, yo, who put the most pressure on getting married? You know what the answer was 100% of the time?
woman,
It was the
of
woman.
course.
The women influenced, moved the timeline up, put the pressure on marriage. Men don't, when I say we think differently, I mean, we don't look at Cinderella when we growing up. We be out there playing football. So y'all look at, happily ever after. He comes, save me, scoop me off my feet. We live happily ever after. Men think, this is usually how men realize that they like a chick and they want to marry her without being pressured. Because if you pressure, then that means he doing it. You giving them ultimatum.
You gotta go with the flow.
This is how a man usually comes about. We've been kicking it for a while. I like her. Boom. Then one day he's just like, damn, she cool. We've been kicking it. I fuck with her. I'm gonna marry her. That's how we do it. We don't be like, every step. We don't have check boxes. Check this, check that, check that. We just be like, she cool. She ain't tripping. She ain't getting on my nerves. I'm still fucking with her. She's still here. It's been 2 years, 3 years.
I still got my piece.
Right. She still keep my peace. So that's how we think about it. I think women have more of an intention on
the title,
getting married.
On the title.
But when
on the title.
When I say that, what I'm saying is if I'm going to give you my time, and you tell me I don't never want to get married. I'm never.
See, it ain't just your time; it's our time.
Make you think, wait. What makes your time more important than mine?
Right.
I'm not saying
it's both of our
that.
time.
What you're not getting is if we meet each other and we're talking, and I tell you I want kids and I want to get married one day.
The first date?
On the first date? That's what.
On the first date.
It could be.
Shit.
But listen, okay, but that's cool because I understand that's how women are.
No,
I understand
it
that.
Could be,
I understand.
but I'm not saying I'm like that.
Right.
But I'm saying eventually you want to have that conversation.
Eventually.
Sooner rather than later.
Well,
and it's going to be before
well,
I give you my
listen, not on the first
and
date.
it's going to be before I give you some ass that we're going to have
so
that
you
conversation.
you using the pussy as a weapon?
No, I'm not.
You using the pussy as a weapon?
We're having right now.
I'm investing.
Wait a minute.
I'm not investing my body in somebody that's not headed in the same direction.
It's the exact subject we're having right now.
That's the pressure that we're talking about.
Our listeners cannot hear if we out-talk each other.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Y'all, you let him go. Go, shit. Now you gotta go because we gotta represent for the men. You gotta say
I'm cool with it.
You cool with what?
What you cool with?
Don't be asking men that shit on the first, second, or third date.
I agree.
Because I don't even know if I like you yet.
We gotta listen. If you start with "I want kids and marriage," you already putting the pressure on them.
There would never be a second date.
We just told you that. We just told you that women influence or push forward.
You already put the power on the P. I don't want it that bad.
I just
and see, and then you using the P as you welding it as power.
I put myself out there for somebody. Physically, if I know my pussy is connected to my heartstrings and when I get involved with somebody physically, I get emotionally involved.
Do you tell them that?
That should be a talk before you talk about marriage and kids.
That's a part of the situation. Do you tell them that part about you? That you get emotionally involved when you have sex?
Before you have sex.
Do you tell that man that?
Yes.
Oh, well, then if you do that, then you being honest. So if he chooses to go forward, then he got to understand.
No. I'm gonna interject here.
Okay, go tell me what you think.
Because it's not you that I'm saying no to. It's that concept.
Thank you.
The man is gonna say what he think you want to hear, no matter what. Let's be clear.
That's true
These
for a lot of men.
These niggas is still gonna be a lot of dudes.
Okay.
Because the end goal for them in a lot of cases is still to have sex with you.
Right.
So you can say
that's normally.
You can say I want to.
Yeah, girl, we can have kids. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, honey, they gonna
shit. You can move in with me. You can move in with me too.
So to put the condition of we're gonna have sex first before I get this commitment or this ideal of what you might think is possible is still a facade because because they're gonna say it's got to be deeper than that in my opinion because they're gonna say whatever you want to hear
to get the pussy.
I know, but
so
with maturity and discernment, you should be able to read through somebody.
A lot of men.
No, I agree.
A lot of men are not going through that.
I agree with you.
A lot of men are not going through that just for some sex when they can go
they
get it.
They don't have to.
Right. That's the point I'm trying to make. So the tactics that some women use don't work like they
are going to fail.
Yes.
For you habitually.
Yes. And you're going to keep running to that same.
You're going to keep getting the same issue.
16 dudes.
You're going to have the same issue.
Yes.
You're always going to have the same issue. So I would just say, don't lead with I want children in marriage. Get to know that person before you tell them that. They might not be the one. They might become a great friend, somebody. But if you lead with that, then you're putting pressure on them. And I ain't saying have sex with the nigga on top just because. I'm just saying,
get to know him first.
Get to know him,
and then stop calling him a F boy when you find out later.
Get to know him first. I agree with Suge. I don't even know what an F boy is. Y'all got a definition for me?
I don't
this
like
is
that
a couple
word
of definitions I got. Like this
when
one
nigga
chick
don't do what they want.
Right.
When a nigga don't do what the women want him to do.
It's like for men, he's a buster or a punk ass dude. For some women, it's a dude that get a lot of pussy. That's a fuck boy.
Oh,
that's not a.
That don't make sense.
Right.
Well, in my opinion, I feel like a fuckboy is a term of a behavior.
So I
agree.
So I know a dude who runs back and tells females anytime you tell him something. I think that's fuckboy behavior.
I agree with that.
That is definitely the definition.
See, I agree with that.
That is definitely.
That's gay. Right. Stop that shit, nigga. Stop.
Men, stop acting like bitches. There be more men that be bitches than women.
Because the word slides both ways.
Because I would agree with you. Too. I would agree with the fuckboy of a man who. I'm gonna give you an example of a famous person who I think is a sucker. His name is The Game. He is a sucker, but women think he's so fine and they say his dick so big that they allow him to do sucker shit.
That's one of those.
I seen
I
seen that picture.
16 dudes.
He didn't talk about men's wives who he slept with in the past.
Yes.
That's sucker shit.
That's sucker shit.
Now she's married. Why would you do that? That's you trying to get attention. Like why are you doing that?
Make another
If
album,
you get
nigga.
enough pussy, which I'm sure he do, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that.
So when you do that and you get pussy, you a sucker. You a clown or a fuckboy. I ain't gonna say fuckboy, but I'm gonna say you a clown.
You a clown. I like that.
I'm gonna say you a clown.
That's a clown.
So it's but the thing is, women still fuck with him, even though they see the clown shit he's
Right.
doing
He one of them
around.
16
And
dudes.
that's my point. So women gotta be accountable for who you choose to fuck with. If I'm trying to talk to you and Suge trying to talk to you, and Suge talking to you first, and then I come like, yo, Suge, a bust ass nigga, fuck that nigga, he be fucking with all these girls. That's sucker shit.
Yeah, that.
Yep.
But if you fall for it and give me the pussy and be my girl, then you like suckers. And now I'm looking at you.
So the next dude that do cute like that,
So
you
now-
gonna do the same thing.
So now when he do the sucker shit to you, because you might not see it because he's doing it to, I'm doing it to him, but it's gonna happen. Character is character.
Right.
So if he comes at you with that way to get you, which is hating on another man that he don't have to do, he could just leave it himself and his dopeness.
Right.
If he does that, then he's gonna eventually do some sucker shit to you.
Right.
And
So
then
now
you're gonna be like,
I-
oh, he a fuckboy. But you didn't
Right.
you didn't say that when he showed you initially he was a fuckboy. So
Right.
believe that.
You took that red flag.
You
tucked
was
it.
with it. You
The
tucked
red
it.
flag.
Exactly.
I
You
took
tucked
the
it.
L.
You tucked it. Yeah. So I be
the L.
trying to let people understand that you always got to be accountable for
Right.
who you attract and the way
Right.
they are, how they
Knowing
approach
he
you.
does have a shady character. She
Right.
said she feels he has a shady
And there's a lot of niggas out here with that.
with that character.
And that's
And you
right.
can vouch for
Right.
that. I can vouch for that.
16 dudes, man.
It's a lot of niggas out here with that,
Right.
man.
Right.
I don't like you niggas. Y'all need to go
Right.
back and learn something from y'all
Stop putting
daddies.
the P on the pedestal, dog. It
So-
ain't even worth it. I promise you it's
would
not.
you prefer that a woman, you guys just progress naturally, and if she chooses to not have sex until she knows what
That's
your
cool.
intentions
I ain't got a
are,
problem with that.
y'all okay with that?
I think
that's
every-
a mature man's
I think
perspective.
everything should happen organically.
I think
And I
That's a
think
mature
I think
man's
men like that.
perspective.
And I also think that's a situationship because if two
It is.
people agree,
Thank you.
I agree with that.
If I go out with you and we both agree, I don't really want to have sex until I get married, but I really want to get to know you.
to see.
And he says yes at that moment.
Y'all agreements.
In my mind, that's a situationship
Right.
because you both have decided to walk together on an agreement. And I like it because it gives women the power to speak what they feel and then don't fuck with the man if he does not meet that need. So, in support of you meet a man, you have this conversation, and he says, I'm with it.
Then what?
Then to me at that moment we can move forward.
Then what? Since you're not,
What do you
since
mean?
since y'all two dating now, you're not having sex. What the fuck are y'all doing?
So now we getting to know each other.
Hold up, hold
But
up.
we're getting to know each other.
We getting to know each other, dog.
Yeah.
For how long?
It depends
I think that's not. You can't put a time
Like,
limit on
you
it.
can't put a time limit on, but I'm
however
asking.
it progresses.
Right on. So what if it's 2 years?
Then it's 2 years.
If he with you for 2 years, he busting it over somebody else, but it's fine.
He might be, but he still feels enough draw to me to still invest his time and energy
Right
into
on.
dating
And I
me
think that's
and
still a
seeing
mature
me.
conversation. Listen, I don't
Thank
feel
you.
like I want to stay
Thank
around
you.
for this whole 2 years. I tell you what,
Thank
but I'll
you.
be safe and I'll strap it up, but I'm still gonna be out here doing my thing because what I don't want is to make somebody feel like they're gonna be out of character fooling with me, and all they doing is resisting urges to go sleep around. So I do think that that's
That's a
part
good
of the
that's great.
conversation.
That's
Talk
real.
to me.
Thank you.
But women can't handle that truth.
That-
Let's talk
that's true.
about that.
You don't want to
Women
hear it?
cannot generally handle the truth that I'm feeling something in my loins that make me want to go and pop and be with somebody else. Is it
While
cool?
I'm dating
Not
you.
is it cool, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
While I'm
That
dating you, yeah.
conversation, we have a hard time accepting those
I would think
This-
truths.
this
I would think
talking
men
about.
and women have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
I think men have a hard time if a woman told him that same thing. Like, yo, I'm dating you, we cool, but if you don't want, if a man, I don't know if a man would say I ain't trying to have sex with you yet.
Yes,
But
they
if
have.
he would, and you say I'm dating you, I'm cool, but I'm gonna have sex with, I got somebody I'm having sex with. I don't think men handle that well either.
Yeah,
So maybe it's a
you're
human
probably right.
thing. Maybe
It's
it's an ego
probably-
thing.
I don't think they do.
I think it's an ego thing because again, I don't think sex has power. I think we give it what we think the value is.
Yep.
We place that value on it, and then at that point we execute. Because if it's just sex, if it's just two people, although there are emotional ties, there are what
Is money
some people
power?
call.
Only what we give it.
It's only what you
It's
give
just like
because the
anything.
love
Anything
of
is only
money
what-
is the root to all evil.
I get
so
that.
if I put power, if I put Yes, money affords things that gives the illusion of power. Absolutely. However, I don't think it's power independent of itself.
I agree
because
with you.
guess what? The dollar really don't mean
nothing
shit.
is power independent of itself to me. It always has to do with the people, what you value,
the intent,
what we value.
Yes.
Because right now, if rocks was valuable, we'd be out here collecting rocks out in the dirt. If that's what got us women, we'd be we getting rocks.
Right.
But it's money, so it's what the people agree that they value.
The value on it.
Exactly. So that's anything. So that's words. That's anything. Like. Nigga is a bad word for some older black people. I'm gonna say nigga because we took the power from them.
A man got game or some shit like that. You know how they say that? Like a man, have game.
Yeah.
They pull women and all that stuff. Of course, it was times that I used to say that too. But as I matured, it was like, no, it was her.
Right.
I mean, and when you understand that, you can actually move how you want to move as a man when you understand that, and that's real talk.
So, Love Davis says, if you agree to just bump uglies and the man gets feelings, how are we supposed to deal with that? Because that happens as well. It's not just the females that put a lot of the emotions in it.
It got to be a conversation. Once you start seeing he getting his feelings, once he start where you was at, why you ain't return my phone call, if he start doing that, then it's like, hold on, let's have a talk. Let's go to lunch.
We said we were going to
We was just bumping uglies. We didn't say we was going further. You want to go further, we have to have a conversation.
To move forward.
Move forward. If I want to, I might not want to, or she might not want to. Is what I mean when I say.
Kanoy said they can't. Most men can't handle a woman having sex with someone and not them yet until she knows him and the connection yet. And then my mom, Beverly has entered the building.
Mom.
She says, I hate the entire female-male perception. Some men will lie and mislead you only to manipulate the female into a sexual relationship with and they'll do that with several women. Master manipulators, she says, and they have no integrity. This is so emotionally dangerous. This generation can't handle the truth about the risk and soul ties in fornication. Yes.
I agree with her, but that to me, that's one side of the coin.
Thank you.
The other side is,
good one though.
I have female friends that want a relationship. They say they don't. They put up a shield because they've been hurt, but they really do. So when a man comes along and tells her the things that she wants to hear, she falls for that.
Yes.
So when you say manipulate, you can only be manipulated if you really want that. If you can see past that, then you can be like, all right, let's get to know each other, and I'm gonna see if you are who you say you are.
If you are who you say.
That's one thing that we always got to recognize with anybody. We got to make sure the person is who they say they are.
Right.
We can't just believe the words that they say, and because if we really want something, if we want to believe something, we're gonna believe it.
Right.
So that's the other side to that coin that your mom is talking about.
Right.
You can only be manipulated if you don't know no better and you unaware or you're desperate to want something.
Well, and I will have to say, even some more mature, intelligent women have been manipulated, and so it's not. And it's not just the gullible, but I think what I need to say to Miss Beverly,
the loneliness will lead.
Yeah, and I think that's because I think it's an underlying issue why they get manipulated. I think women want relationships with a man. Yes. I think that's the nature of a woman.
That's the goal.
So
of this
men use that
you want certain
to manipulate
though. Certain relationships is what y'all try to get into, and that's the thing.
So what you mean?
Certain like what?
It's certain like you want again. Some women when they judge themselves, like it should be 8 with an 8, right? 7 with a 7. Women want more than what they are.
Or they put themselves higher on the pedestal.
Or they put themselves higher. Then you get somebody that's higher than what you are, you can't handle the shit. You can't take it. He trying to make you better. I don't want to be better. I'm just trying to be the same regular shit.
Or he looking at you like you ain't in 10. Why you want me? You don't deserve me.
Because you ain't going down.
Exactly.
You're an 8. You're not dating a 6.
Women do not go
to you.
down.
You're not dating a 6. But men do it, and y'all want to act like.
Women gonna.
It depends on what they.
But that's a power. Again, that's a power of it.
What they put their value into.
That's true
as well.
I think it's a variety of things, but I agree with Suge for the most part. That happens a lot. Sometimes I think we do put too much emphasis on status or looks or optics of things rather than the genuineness and the authenticity of things.
Yeah, it happens like that because that's the first thing that happens. Attraction with
looks,
with beauty, all that handsome, all that stuff, sexy. Both ways.
And that's cool because God made it that way because it's dope. But then we got to go deeper than the surface to really find the connection.
But you usually don't make it that far.
Because we don't. That's the self work part.
Absolutely.
That's we good at the service part. That's why women can look good. Y'all got the eyelashes, hair. Y'all got everything to look good.
All of that.
Right.
But do y'all do the self work to be a better person, to really to be understanding,
It's a cover up.
to be peaceful inside? Because I always think if you peaceful inside, you'll bring peace to all your relationships, not just your lover, your children, your brother, your mother, your sister, your friends.
Right.
So it starts with that.
I agree.
And I don't think we do enough self work as a human race.
We don't. We don't. And
that's
a
our
lot of
problem.
times we don't know how, and sometimes we don't know when. Like there's certain times that it's more important than other times to do that self work. But Noble Smiley has joined the conversation. What
K-Dog.
Kid checking in from Iraq.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's my dog.
Nice.
Be safe out there. Thank you for your service.
Gilliam has
Thank
checked
you.
in. Manipulation can also be possible through a lack of awareness surrounding it too. And then Kanoy said, yes, inner peace is a gift to our circle. So back to the whole power of the P, because we took a long route to get back to this, and we got a few minutes. So for me, I think that women use it to manipulate. I fully agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also think that men use manipulation to get it.
Right.
Right.
So how do we bridge that gap? Because what I want to say to Beverly, my mom, is, Mom, we're really not talking about those kinds of men and women. This conversation isn't for everybody. We're talking about mature people who actually want to find a relationship. We're talking about adults that are like the four sitting here today that actually want to find a relationship, and we're just trying to, navigate the ins and outs, because people do put a lot of emphasis on the sex part, men and women. So I agree, but we're also trying to talk about mature people who are trying to move past that.
True.
And we keep encountering these types of personalities while we're trying to navigate to find the right one. We're trying
That's
to find our
true.
person, So
That is true.
that's what
Yes,
this
ma'am.
constructive conversation is about. And overall,
Yes, ma'am.
we came together to do this collab because we are single and experiencing a lot of this. So we just want to translate some of our experience and our opinions to the listeners and people who have actually been supporting it, because we've actually gotten a lot of views.
Right on.
We
Thank
got
you,
a lot
everybody.
of
That's
views.
fantastic.
Nice. Thank you. We appreciate
Hope y'all
it.
learning something.
Yeah, so let's everybody take a minute to go around the table before we close this out. You got a couple of seconds, maybe take 30 seconds or something to say what's important or what's not important, because I do know men need to stop this. Women have the ability to say no, right? Because we really are in control of how the pussy's valued. But I really do think men need to stop that conversation about sex. That's just too much.
That's not going to stop until y'all stop it.
Well, let's
What
have
do
it.
you
We
mean?
gonna
Because
take-
in a way, I'm thinking with somebody, again, like he said, if it's not working, you're not bringing it up. So clearly it's working. You guys are the one that got to stop that.
I agree. I agree with Shug.
Because I can want to do all I want. You got to be the one that say no.
Women, y'all have the power.
You got
y'all
the
have y'all. Unless he rapes you,
Yes.
then you got to say so who you're
I
going to
think
invite
so.
into.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Regardless
So-
of if he go off on you or not.
And if
you
every
still stood
woman
your
around the
ground.
country said no,
Like
to
Chirac.
the things that, when I say he's married, no. Every
Right.
woman across the country,
But he fine, though.
No, but the
Right.
answer is no, right?
I agree.
Because
That's a fact.
I mean, I agree.
once you dive
Right.
into those areas of people that you shouldn't be fucking with, guess what happens?
It gets
That's
messy.
when the inner work is gonna need to happen thereafter.
Exactly.
Because you know what, you're gonna be damaged. You're gonna go
Traumatic
through some
trauma.
shit. So if
That's
every
facts.
woman
Right.
said no, and only said yes to the ones that she felt was leaning in the direction that she wanted to go, even if it was strictly sex.
I
You still
agree
need to choose that
1000%.
partner. You know what I'm saying? Choose
1000.
that partner.
So basically what she's saying, ladies and gentlemen, is women, y'all got to be accountable for who you let into you,
Accountable.
enter you, or into your circle, or into your life. And
that
men
requires-
do too, but
right.
men are gonna
Do
go.
what we let them.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Right.
If a man want to fuck and you letting him, he finna fuck. You can't be mad at him and be like, "Oh, you just want." You let me. You opened up to me.
I don't have.
And they gonna. I tell my daughters, I say,
Sex.
listen, it's only two things you gotta
That's
worry
fine.
about. If a man wants to only have sex with you, if he wants to have sex with you only, or he wants to have sex with you and want to get to know you. The only way you're gonna find out is through time and getting to know him. If he just wants sex, he gonna dip fast. He ain't gonna
dip.
stay
Right,
too
you
long.
know,
That's who you
He
don't
gonna be-
want.
Right, and
Yeah,
that's
he-
who you don't want.
he ain't gonna
right?
be there
I
too
get
long.
that. Exactly.
He gonna be out in a week or less, depending on him.
Especially if he found out you're not worth it. The chase.
or that.
And people forget about that part.
Because that, and it might take a little bit longer because you might get to know somebody. Because it's all kind of red flags with people. So, yeah. I think that we do have women and men have done. Women have to understand, look, we allow these fuck boys to fuck us. Or these suck-ass niggas, or these clowns, or these niggas who don't want none of the way dudes. We let them. We got to stop them. If you stop them initially, and then you get to a place where you can see through the clouds and the weeds and shit, and then build with each other, and then you find somebody that you have a better connection with. And even if y'all don't last forever, the connection is still real. Right. Like I'm friends with a lot of my.
It shouldn't be a bad breakup, like what he's saying. It should be a friendship level at least.
Yeah, the friendship level.
But when it's fuckboy shit, you mad. Now you fuck that nigga. I shouldn't have never got. Yeah, I understand it because we might feel that way too. But when it's a real genuine connection, then even if y'all break up, you might be like, yo, we just going different ways. But I still would like to be your friend.
And I don't feel spent.
And I don't exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel I wasted time. I don't feel like used. I don't feel none of that. Right.
Situationships
or that I gave the best of myself to you, and you had no intentions on going there. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So people, I do think that that's healthy to be balanced that way. I'm going to say this. We got a few minutes
for yourself
and create those boundaries. I want to read this. This is an excerpt from my book, and I want to read this to the black men.
She's a writer, y'all.
Time to get serious. Take back your families. Take back your health. Take back your wealth. Take back your sons, take back your daughters. Take an interest in their education. Show up in their classrooms. Discipline with firm yet gentle hand. Be responsible and choose your wife and mother of your lineage with care. Then dedicate your life to her. Stop the recklessness and find your place on this earth. Learn to love and accept and nurture your strengths and embrace your weaknesses. Learn to apologize without being sorry. I hate that. Learn to apologize without being sorry.
Amen.
You hear what I'm saying?
Tabernacle.
Do not turn a blind eye to your brother. Protect your daughters and gird your sons. Prepare them for this battle and give them wisdom for the victories. Stand tall and stand for something. Don't accept disrespect, but be wise enough to know when to walk away. Pray for discernment so you can see the enemy and interpret his weapons. And lastly, but keep your word. Have self-control. Don't be led by your manhood parts. You should be smarter than that by now. Bring your money home. Make wise investments into your future. Seek financial freedom. Check on and care for and respect your parents. Upgrade the birds you walk with and fly with eagles. Lastly, and more importantly, humble yourselves before your Creator and acknowledge that He is greater than you and put Him first.
Well,
so with that, I'm so glad to have y'all.
Thank you.
So
We're happy to be here.
Very, very
glad. We're happy to be here.
For the conversation.
Healthy dialogue.
And healthy dialogue.
Honesty, all of that. So we can find you on Saturdays.
Saturdays at 11
a.m. on Saturdays.
Pacific
Undrafted
time.
Allstarz radio show talking about sports.
And relationships at the end sometimes.
Relationships at the end. We giving y'all the real.
We lit. Shout out to you, C4 Nate. We love you, boy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do. We miss you, C4. We're going to have to continue this conversation on another level. It's J9.
And Jazzy.
It's Let's Get It Together every Thursday at 6 p.m. Meet us here again at the same time, same place.
We out here.
We are out.
Peace.
Peace, love,
Only
and
thing
light.
we need more of is more love.
And do
Peace,
stay.
love, and light.
And then click end. Click it. And then click end and then click end again.